Why, hello, my little whippermathers. I have the worst crick in my neck. I'm going to be a robot tomorrow, maybe. Maybe I'll be better. Who knows? Anyways, point being, it feels like 100 years since I made you one of these videos, and actually I was kind of excited to do it. So, as you know, the purpose is to just introduce you to what we're doing and kind of give you an overview of why we're doing it, and then give you a little instruction, which some of you are so fast, you might just pick it up, or maybe you already know this skill. We're going to be talking about finding volume. Last week we talked about finding perimeter and area, so we're moving on to three-dimensional shapes. How many cubes instead of flat squares does it take to make up a shape? And we're going to start with weird shapes like this little guy right here. If I wanted to find the volume of this weird irregular figure, I would ask myself, how many cubes would it take if I was going to build this? And for some of us, myself for sure included, it's best if I think about it in layers, either from like bottom to top or from front to back. But if you try to take it all in one big blob, you'll often forget some or count some twice, which is a no-go. So when I count this first little front layer that I've just circled, there's 12. And then when I was little, I would just count the other ones I could see. And I would say, oh, like there's 7 more. No, there's some behind the ones I can't see. I am no bueno. Oh, wait, growth mindset. I'm getting better at this skill. So if I think about it in layers, I can see I've got that layer of 12 in the front, and that means behind it I also have another group of 12. And then I see those little 5 cubes that are outside of that duplication. So I can add 12 and 12 more and then 5 more. You can count it up any way that is best for your brain. But for me, if I don't work in layers, I make a huge mess. And then also notice that I have like put a little 3 in the error instead of a 2, because now we're not measuring in flat squares, we're measuring in 3-dimensional cubes. And so instead of putting a little 2 like when we did length times width, we're going to be doing a little 3 to show that we're measuring in cubic units. So let's look at one more weird shape like that. Again, when I was little, I just counted the ones I could see, called it a day, but there's some hiding behind and under that we can't see. So I'm going to do the first layer, and there are 7, and then I know that behind it I've got another group of 7. And then I count the leftovers that are there on that second and third and fourth layers. That would be a total of 20 units square, because I've got 6 little extras. And don't forget that little 3. Now, if this looks like a weird skill for you, know that almost all the shapes we measure in life are not going to be weirdo shapes. They're going to be regular, rectangular prisms. Think bedrooms, think cereal boxes, think books. So looking at this regular figure, I can think of it in layers again. I've got 4 across the bottom and 2 on the side. So that means I've got 8 cubes to make the area of the base. And how many of those layers of 8 do I have? I've got 3. So 8 times 3 would let me know that I've got 8 and 8 and 8, or 24 units cubed. So guess what? There's a formula that we can use to make our lives easier. And yeah, we're going to formula substitute solve, and Miss Amanda's going to love you next year when she sees you doing this. V equals L times W times length times width, the area, times H. What do you think that stands for? The height. So if we plug those numbers in or substitute, it would be 4 times 2 times 3 layers high. And when I multiply all those together, lo and behold, I get the same number I got when I counted in layers. So you could kind of do it either way if you've got the cube shown, but for most of our week, we're not going to show you the cubes. We're just going to show you those measurements, and you're going to apply your formula and figure it out, and you're going to do great because you've been moving like champions through all this 5th grade stuff. Okay, I'm excited, and hopefully when you see me, I can move my head side to side. Or not. I don't really need to. Who's counting? Okay, bye.